I'm Brian Parsons in for Bruce. The Virginia Cavaliers big underdogs tomorrow when the Hoos host 7th-ranked UCLA at Scott Stadium. The Vegas odds makers have the Bruins favored by 21 points. This is a make-or-break season for Cavs coach Mike London. Last season, UVA lost 9 straight games to end the season, but London did have a highly touted recruiting class come in this season. The Cavaliers will be going against Bruins quarterback Brett Hundley, a dual-threat quarterback that is a serious Heisman Trophy candidate. UVA, meanwhile, turns the ball over to Grayson Lambert, who will be making his first start at UVA.
We get to see where we're at an earlier stage. You know, I mean, if you open up with a FCS or something like that, then you're you know, getting your feet wet, so to speak. We're diving in right from the get-go.
Mike London needs to not only win games, he needs to win over fans. Attendance tomorrow at Scott Stadium is expected to be 20,000 below capacity. Next week, a big game for Virginia Tech when the Hokies travel to Columbus to take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. But before that, Tech hosts William & Mary tomorrow. And don't expect the Hokies to look past the Tribe. That's exactly what Coach Beamer's team did in 2010 when James Madison came into Lane Stadium and shocked the Hokies 21-16. 9 players on that Hokies team were red shirts and are now seniors. Willie Byrne from Virginia Beach is one of them, and he says he won't let the younger guys look past William & Mary and ahead to Ohio State.
That's a feeling that you don't ever want to have. And the younger guys, you know, it's easy for them being at a prestigious program to hear that and just kind of scoff at it and say, yeah, that won't happen, don't worry. But it's our job as older guys and as leaders to make sure that they know.
The Tribe, meanwhile, have every reason in the world to be confident. Last season, they lost a tight game to West Virginia. The year before, they lost to Maryland 7-6. In 2010, they lost to UNC by 4. And in 2009, they beat UVA. So the Tribe players know they can hang, but they're not just hoping to keep things close. They're looking for a win.
The past few years we were real close. You know, we really want to get that win. It's, you know, we saw it in 2009. We saw the success they had against UVA, obviously. So we want to get out there, and we definitely want to get a win. We don't just want to play a close game or just, you know, showcase what kind of players we have. We want to get out there, and we definitely want to win.
The first game I played in was the game against Maryland 2 years ago. That was my first game ever playing, and I got the cobwebs out then. I'm not as nervous as I was 2 years ago for this game, so I'm just really excited.
It's something that the players will remember for the rest of their lives. You know, the opportunity to go in there in Lane Stadium in front of 65,000 playing a big-time team like Virginia Tech. They'll remember this one forever, and you know, it's a great opportunity for them to compete and challenge themselves.
Now, an interesting side note, entering his 35th season, Jimmy Laycock is the longest tenured coach at the FCS level. Entering his 28th season, Frank Beamer is the longest tenured coach at the FBS level. Good friends on the golf course, Beamer and Laycock were assistant coaches together under Bobby Ross at the Citadel in the early 70s.
You know, I tell you what, though, you could have gotten a heck of a wager a long time ago when both of us were at the Citadel. This was going to turn out this way. I promise you that. But he's a good friend. I mean, and I'm very proud of what he's done over there. And he's done a tremendous job there. Tremendous job.
William & Mary at Virginia Tech tomorrow in Blacksburg. Tomorrow in Norfolk, ODU begins its first season as a member of Conference USA. The Monarchs, now in the FBS, opens up against Hampton University, which is a member of the FCS. After a transition year, ODU finally has something to play for. Last season, they weren't eligible for anything, and they played a hodgepodge schedule of random teams from all over the country. Taylor Heineke actually told us at Media Day that last season was a drag. As far as Hampton, which has a new head coach, Connell Maynor, the Monarchs say they are solely focused on the Pirates.
You know, they're a scary team. They have a lot of athletes, very athletic. They got a new coaching staff, so again, we don't know what they're going to run. We don't know what offense they're going to run. We don't know what kind of defense they're going to run. So, you know, it's all up in the air right now. And it's a scary team. They could beat us just as easily as we could beat them.
I'm excited. We get to run out the tunnel, and 20,000 fans, you know, cheering for us. It's the first game of the season. You know, we get to put the pads on and play against somebody besides our offense every day. So, you know, guys have been talking about it all year, so we're ready for it.
First-year coach Connell Maynor comes to Hampton after a very successful stint at Winston-Salem State, where he went 45-6 over 4 seasons. And despite the fact that this is Maynor's first year at Hampton, he knows the ODU staff has a good idea what Maynor and his staff will bring to the field.
They know what we're going to do. They got film on me. They went back to Winston-Salem State last 4 years. They got film. They know all our formations, what we like to do. This ain't their first barbecue. So they got film on us. They know what we're going to do. We just got to execute, and they got to execute. You know, we know what they're going to do. They know what we're going to do. It's no different from any other ball game. The coaches know what other teams going to do. You got to get your players to execute.
Hampton against ODU tomorrow at 3:30. The game is a complete sellout. Tough opener for Norfolk State. The Spartans on the road against the Maine Black Bears, which won the CAA last season. Now, NSU left today. They flew to Baltimore, had a 2-hour layover, then flew to Portland, Maine, and then bus 2 hours to Bangor, Maine, where their hotel is. After the Maine game, things don't get any easier for the Spartans, who will be challenged by a very tough schedule.
Well, the first 4 games are really tough games. We come out of that with a winning record. You should have a great year.
We do got a tough schedule, but it's only going to make us better as a team. I think that our non-conference games, we have a big non-conference schedule, and it's only going to strengthen us. And I think that we have an opportunity against every team we line up against this year. So I'm pretty confident about what we bring to the table each game.
NSU's home opener is next Saturday against the Liberty Flames. Other non-conference games include William & Mary and Buffalo of the FBS. Matt Kelchner's Christopher Newport team doesn't open its season until a week from tomorrow when Salisbury comes to Pomoco Stadium. The Captains went 8-2 last season, but somehow they missed out on the playoffs. Kelchner is entering his 14th season as head coach, and he's never had a losing record. More on CNU next week.